Good evening and welcome back to the Rory Talks Football channel, your daily Arsenal news updates, debates and my opinions. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. We are getting very, very close to 11,000 subscribers. And if you could click that like button, I would be incredibly grateful. It's a Friday. It's Friday then. It's Saturday, Sunday. What? There's loads of you here. There's loads to talk about. Arsenal related and non-Arsenal related. We're going to be talking about the Red Cartel. Oh, the Red Cartel. Swivel on that one. Osimhen, Onana, Zubimendi. There is lots to talk about. We'll be talking about England. The lineup for England's coming out in 15 minutes or so, so we'll go through that as well. And it's going to be a good show. Loads of you here, like I said: Sportcat, Mohammed, Big Chib, Drax, Carter, Cringe, Hyper, Lukey, Leeds Gunner, Ross Lawman, Kevin, Marquois, Vivi Vlad, Denlar, Saliba, Hannah, Tentego, Pekka, Kyle, Umer, Matthew, Cy Walder, Jake, Francisco Oliveira, Wilsey, and many, many more. It is good to see you all. I hope you've had a good week. I hope you're going to have a fantastic weekend. And we will crack into it. Apparently, Ramsdale starts. Very interesting. I'll open it up at like 1:45 when I know that the news is definitely out. And we'll crack on with the show. You see Martin Odegaard got player of the season. Yeah, we will talk about the player of the season situation. Bit of unnecessary drama in the fan base around that. Watching live at 1:30 a.m. in China. You love to see it. You love to see it. Rory, who's winning the England-Australia in the T20 World Cup tomorrow. We've got to back the boys. We've got to back the boys. England are going to win. Havertz starts at striker for Germany. You love to see it. I'm secretly cousins with Sesko, and he said he's coming to North London. Well, there you go. Jake has confirmed that Sesko is coming to North London. And we may well need him too, because a lot of the news coming out at the moment is really kind of shutting down the links that we've had to certain players. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. But we will crack into those. Good evening, Emilio. T-Nat, Team News and Ticks, speaking to, who does he do his show with? I can't remember who he does his show with. Anyway, it was on YouTube, and he said, I was told in November that Victor Osimhen was our primary target as a striker. I can honestly say I've not heard his name mentioned since from any of my contacts. I can't see it happening. Yes, that's it. It's Charlie. It's old Charlie boy, Charles Watts. It is indeed Charles Watts. So yeah, apparently back in November, Victor Osimhen was our primary target, but since then, his name has not been mentioned, and it is probably because of the price tag. Truthfully, it is probably because of the price tag. So I don't think we're going to be getting Victor Osimhen. And it makes sense. Look, since November, Havertz kicked on as the centre forward. And there are just more pressing matters, I think. So, Osimhen's a great player. I'm sure he'll get a big move, but I don't think it's going to be to us. The next one was on... Oh, no, actually, a little bit more on that. A little bit more on that one from Victor Osimhen. No. Who's this one about? Oh, no, this is about Sesko. No one is going to activate the release clause unless they know he's told them he's going to sign for them. It's highly likely that one club will activate the release clause if he is going to leave. We may hear news of what he's decided soon, but I wouldn't expect anything to be completed until July. So basically, I think what has ultimately happened is Arsenal, Chelsea, Man United have put forward our proposals, and he will either accept one of those proposals or he will agree to the new terms at RB Leipzig and he'll stay there. And yeah, none of those three clubs, right? Arsenal, Chelsea, and United presumably all know that the other ones have put a proposal forward. There's no point triggering the release clause if he wants to go to a different club. So we will wait. We will wait for that, and we will see. Why does no one want Osimhen? Too expensive. There aren't many clubs that can go out there and trigger a release clause of over 100 million quid. There really aren't many clubs that can do that. And the ones that can do that don't want to do it for Osimhen. I think that's just the reality. Like, at the end of the day, the market is the market. You've got very few clubs that can afford it, and the clubs that can afford it would rather spend their money elsewhere. So I think the price is going to have to come down. I still think Osimhen will move this summer. I just don't think it'll be for anywhere near 100 million quid. Hit the like button, please. Yeah, come on. Here, rack those likes up, please. It's a Friday. It's a Friday. It's good vibes. Celebrate. Drop a like on the video. We'll all be much happier for it. You know? I thought Osimhen was going to Chelsea. Nah, Chelsea backed out to it. Chelsea might now be going for Alvarez from City. So it appears that Alvarez is going to leave City. And there was a thing came out last night that Chelsea are the mystery club that is supposedly tempted to buy him. So that'll be an interesting one. What a fall from grace for Alvarez. My mate's birthday tonight, and we're playing a drinking game where you randomly scroll through Fabrizio Romano's tweets, and if it's Chelsea or Mbappe tweet, you drink a shot. You're going to be absolutely steaming. You are going to be absolutely steaming. We need to secure Sesko. He's a special player. Interesting. I'm rather. Look, I still want Victor Gyökeres, but I'm still keen. I'm still keen on Sesko either way. John Cross today. Amadou Onana will not be joining Arsenal this summer. The player is not on their radar. He is not the type of midfielder that they want. So Onana to Arsenal, not going to happen, according to John Cross, because we don't want that type of midfielder. So, I do think Onana may be a little bit too close to Declan Rice in terms of profile. He might be a little bit too similar to Declan Rice. Potentially, we're looking for something different. So, Onana, off the table. This one coming from Sport Build, the senior journalist at Sport Build. Arsenal are backing away from signing Martin Zubimendi. Although they were prepared to pay the €60 million release clause, in the end, they did not want Zubimendi for playing reasons. Arteta is also Spanish, and they're said to have been very close. So this is the first time that we've actually seen that Zubimendi not happening is not because Zubimendi wants to stay in the Basque region and doesn't want to join Arsenal, but it's actually because Arsenal no longer want him for playing reasons. So that's interesting. John Cross is pretty reliable. Yeah, he's quite reliable. He's more reliable recently than he used to be. He was not reliable in the Wenger era. Under Wenger, he got nothing, but he's been more reliable recently. He still adds a bit of opinion into it, and kind of like the way he writes his things sometimes frustrates me because I feel like he puts opinion but makes it almost seem like it's based on factual information. But no, he has been good recently. Lots of you are telling me that the team news is out, so we will go and have an old goosey gander at the England team news. So here we go. Just someone confirmed to me that this is correct. I think it is because Ramsdale's in goal. So Ramsdale, Walker, Stones, Gahey, Trippier. I think that could be the back four that starts at the Euros. I'm surprised that Ramsdale's starting, to be quite honest. Mainu, Rice, Palmer, Foden, Gordon, Harry Kane. Interesting to see how that goes. They haven't got the subs on here yet. Apparently, I believe Saka is on the bench. Rice talking up Wharton in his interview makes me think he's a tapping up situation in the England camp. Maybe, but he was also talking up Kobbie Mainoo. So, to be fair, I think Rice pretty much talks up everyone. Is John Cross a tier 1 for Arsenal? He's borderline. It depends if you have a tier above tier 1. John Cross isn't David Ornstein level, in my opinion. But he's the one below it, I would say. Is Pickford injured? Not as far as I'm aware. I don't know if it's going to update with the list of subs or not. It's not so far. But yeah, I mean, that's the Iceland team. Make of that what you will. But I've got a back. Do you know what? My issue with this back four is the lack of creativity. Neither of those wing backs is going to add anything to the attack. I think the front four, I could see us starting the Euros with this only Saka instead of Palmer on the right wing. Getting Ramsdale game ready. Yeah, to be fair, giving him some minutes probably isn't a bad idea. But we'll see. We'll see if Saka comes on. It'll be interesting, to be fair. But it will be interesting. I hope Saka's still not injured. Well, I think he is slowly coming back from whatever that injury is. Like he didn't feature at all in the first game. He's not starting this game either. Isn't Foden on the wing and Palmer in the middle? No, it'll be Foden in the middle and Palmer on the wing. 100%. Palmer predominantly plays off the right wing. Foden is best centrally for City. I mean, they might rotate in game, right? They might rotate between each other in game, but I'd like to see Walker and Stones as a centre back pairing. It wouldn't be a bad idea. I think in the earlier games, in the groups at least, I'd probably play Trent at right back for his offensive output. Hope we don't get a 2016 performance against Iceland. Well, at least this game doesn't mean anything. But if Ramsdale starts the Euros and drops the goalkeeper tournament, does he still have a chance at Arsenal? He might, but he's not going to start at the Euros. He's not going to start at the Euros, unfortunately. Should we take Kane off pens and give them to Palmer? No. I didn't think Palmer's penalty the other night was very good, to be quite honest with you. I thought he got quite lucky that it ended up going in. Do you think your team is top 3 in the tourney? I think it should be. But I'm not convinced it is. I don't think our defense is good enough. I don't think our defense is anywhere near as good as a number of other defenses. France have a better defense than us. I think Germany have a better defense than us. I think Italy have a better defense than us. I think Portugal could have a better defense than us. I think the Netherlands have a better defense than us. I think that's the problem. That's the problem. I don't understand why people want Trent midfield when he drifts there as a right back. Yeah, I wouldn't be having Trent in the midfield personally, but we'll see. Realistic expectations for England. Realistic expectation for England is that we go out as soon as we come up against one of the top teams. I genuinely, I think that. I think the second we come up against one of Germany, France, Portugal, at least one of those 3, we go out. Maybe even Spain, Netherlands. I'm just not feeling that confident this tournament. I'm not. We go out to the semis to Portugal is my guess. Maybe. Just Ben White in that defense, and either him or Walker goes right centre back would improve the side so much. Yeah, you could put Ben White anywhere across that back 4 realistically. Left back he'd be no worse than Trippier. That's the worry. That's the worry. Did you see Smith Rowe's apparently a Luton target from Steve K? Yeah, Steve K is not a good source, and Smith Rowe is not going to the Championship. Simple as that. Southgate has a terrible record against the top 10. It's shocking. Southgate's record against the top 10 is shocking. The only time we've beaten one in a competition was Germany, and Germany were awful. That's the reality. We beat Germany 2-0 when Germany were terrible. We lost to Croatia. We lost to France. We lost to Belgium. I've not watched a stream in so long. How's it going? Sunix, good to have you back. It's going well, thank you. Italy are my flops. Wouldn't be surprised if they get grouped. Yeah, I've got a weird feeling they might get grouped, even though I think their defense looks really good, but I do have a weird feeling they might get grouped. It's an interesting one. Kevin Kilban apologized for his comments about Saka, apparently. If this Saka hate continues, it wouldn't be hard to believe that there's racism behind some people's comments. Oh, there's 100% racism behind some people's comments. I'm not saying that everyone who banters Saka, really, it's not really banter at this point. I'm not saying that everyone that does that is racist. No, absolutely not. But for some people, 100%. 100%. I didn't know that he'd apologized, but good. Do you think we get grouped? No, our group is weak. We don't get grouped. I mean, the thing is, even the top 4 third place finishes progress anyway. So pretty much we could probably finish 3rd in our group and still go through. Did you see the Eze release clause? I did. I was actually going to bring that up. Sammy Mockbell today said Crystal Palace attacker Eberechi Eze has a release clause worth a minimum of £60 million, plus additional add-ons worth in the region of £8 million. Eze has genuine interest from a number of Premier League sides. So, bare minimum, you're looking at paying £60 million for Eze. Probably another £8 million on top. I don't think that's that bad. If Eze continues playing the way he has been, I don't think that's that bad. And if he has a good tournament, if he ends up getting game time at this tournament and has a good tournament, I can legitimately see him comfortably. Someone will trigger that release call straight away. Almost at 100 likes. Great job, chat. Just need a few more. Come on. If you've not already clicked the like button, get us up to 100 likes. I would be grateful. I'm very excited for the Euros. Best team Portugal has ever had since our Ronaldo Figo generation. Yeah, I think it is on paper. I think Portugal have got a really, really strong side. It's just about making them work together, right? It's just about making it function together. But no, I agree. I think Southgate knows he's not got another job in football after this England spell, hence why he's dropped a few of his regulars. Do you know what I think it is? It's similar line of thought. But I think Southgate knows he's gone after this tournament. For most of his tournaments, he's been accused of not playing players based on form and only picking his favourites. So he's gone with what everyone else wants, effectively. He's gone completely on form. He's gone really brave. I still think picking players like Wharton, Eze, Mainu, I think that's brave. And I think he can turn around if we don't win it and go, well, I did it your way. I did it your way and it didn't work. So that's on you. I think that's basically what happens. Substitutes are Gomez, Henderson, Konza, Gallagher, Tony, Watkins, Trent, Bowen, Eze, Pickford, Wharton, Trafford, and Saka. Basically everyone, including Kwanzaa, who's not even in the squad for the actual Euros. So, interesting. Southgate panicking? No, I just think he knows it's his final tournament. I think he knows he's gone very template with his squad selection, kind of, but yeah, I think he knows it's his final tournament. Unless we win the whole thing. And then if we win the whole thing, doesn't matter what team he picked. Netherlands are actually really good. They have Van der Ven, De Ligt, De Jong, Van Dijk, Xavi Simons, Gakpo, Ake, Frimpong, Dumfries, Gravenberch. Yeah, they are good. They do have a good squad. I think central midfield and, attack, I think they can make a good enough attack. Yeah, I think it's a good squad. I can't remember when I think we went through that on a TIFO stream on a watch-along. Have a sneaky feeling Saka is not fit. If he doesn't come on tonight, I doubt he'll start the first game. He's not fully fit. I think that's the reality. I think he really needed some proper recovery time at the end of the season. I'm pretty sure Southgate said that. Southgate said that Saka needed some real proper rest. So we'll see. I'm very excited for the Euros. Best team Portugal. Oh no, I've already read that one. Maguire has to be an injury reason. No way he was dropped for football reasons. It was. Yeah. Maguire's not going to the tournament. He's got a calf injury and he hasn't recovered. That was explained yesterday. He didn't want to drop Maguire. He said Maguire's been one of his best centre backs, but he had to drop him because he wasn't fit. So surprised Holland didn't take Xerxes and took that Man United guy. Forgot his name. Weghorst. Yeah, they took Weghorst ahead of Xerxes, which was surprising. Timber is not going. I'm pretty sure they dropped Quinton Timber from the squad as well. So neither of the Timbers are going. Couple of other things to talk about today. An interesting thing, The Athletic. I don't know if you're subscribed to The Athletic. If you're not, then it's annoying. But The Athletic wrote an article today about Carlos Cuesta, who apparently is now basically, after Steve Bold left. So the hierarchy basically used to be Arteta, AirPods Albert, Steve Bold. And when was it Steve Bold? No. Yeah. Steve Bold? Am I confusing names here? Or am I thinking Steve Round? Who am I thinking of? No, that's the guy from the... No, it was Round. It's Round. I'm getting confused. It's Round. Steve Round was our third in command, basically. And he left last summer, partly apparently because he kind of fell out with Arteta, because he didn't want to bring in Raya, and Arteta pulled rank. So Round left, and Carlos Cuesta has basically filled that gap and has become almost like the proxy third in command. And apparently he's involved in everything now, basically, on the training ground, personal relationships, all of it. Steve Bold could be a guest Laguna. Well, he's not today's. I'll give you that hint. He is not today's. So yeah, Carlos Cuesta apparently is progressing rapidly. And Granit Xhaka did an interview where he said that he sees Carlos Cuesta going on to become like a top manager. And I think that's interesting. I think having someone of that level around the place anyway is fantastic for the squad. But also, obviously, long term, if you're looking at long-term managerial replacements, maybe we've already got one in-house that could end up taking that role. So It's quite an interesting one. Maybe it depends on how ambitious he is and how long Arteta stays. Maybe he goes off and manages and maybe comes back at some point. I don't know. But yeah, I thought that was quite interesting. Xhaka said today, is Carlos the 28-year-old future monster manager? Yes. Is he 28? Is Carlos? I don't know if he's 28. I don't know if he's 28. But yes. He's younger than me. What's going on in footy? Yeah. Yeah, he is young. He is young. But one to look out for. One to look out for. And not a bad thing at all to have him around the place. The other thing that came out today, he's born in 1995. God damn. God damn. What's the news about Sesko? The news about Sesko was basically no one's going to activate his release clause until he's told them that he'll sign for them. It's highly likely that one club will activate his release clause if he is to leave. We may hear news of when that's decided soon, but I wouldn't expect anything to be completed until July. That came from Team News and Ticks today. The other stuff, or the other Arsenal-related thing, the player of the season has somehow caused controversy today. So Arsenal announced the player of the season vote, the Arsenal player of the season vote, which is obviously a fan vote. Saliba came third, Declan Rice came second, and Martin Odegaard won it. Now, I do think Saka is very unfortunate not to be in the top three. I think for Saka to not be in the top three, Bold was the under-21 manager under Wenger. My brain is fried at the moment. I feel like Saka is hard done by. Equally, if Saliba wasn't in it, I'd be saying I think Saliba's hard done by. If Rice wasn't in it, I'd be saying Rice was hard done by. If Odegaard wasn't in it, I'd be saying Odegaard's hard done by. I also think Gabriel's probably been hard done by. That's the reality of the team. And I don't understand people that get really angry about it. And you've got Arsenal fans fighting each other as if it's outrageous that Odegaard won it. And outrageous that Saka didn't win it. Be grateful. Be happy. We have probably 5 players that could all have won the award, and they deserve to do it because we have that many players that played that well and deserve to get the praise. It's people will find a way to argue about everything and anything, but I promise you, you'll be much happier in life if you look at the positives. And I think Odegaard had an absolutely fantastic final 8 months. I think the first couple of months he was struggling a bit. I think that was to do with the dysfunctionality of the midfield. I don't even necessarily think it was down to him. But from November onwards, I do think he was probably our best player in reality. There's a certain Twitter account that leads an anti-Odegaard agenda. Yeah, no new thing. No new thing has a massive Odegaard agenda. Don't get it. Don't get it. Do not understand it. That debate is a beautiful thing to have. Exactly. Exactly. I remember days where if you said, who's Arsenal's player of the season? I haven't got a clue. I haven't got a clue. There were seasons where it was tough. Or there was just one player that was absolutely by far and away the best player. You don't want to be in that position. Can you imagine these social media votes on Arsenal player of the season during the 98 to 2004 era with Henry, Bergkamp, Pires, Vieira, Campbell, Toure, Cole, etc.? Yeah. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I do worry what Saka thinks when Arsenal fans are not even backing him as the star boy. But I think they are. I think Arsenal fans do back him. But again, if Rice hadn't been in the top 3, what would Rice have thought? Came to the club, new signing, had an amazing season, and no one puts him top 3. Does the fan base not like him? It's the hair flicks that annoy people. I'll be honest, buddy. Hair flicker guard. Terrible. If you get annoyed by someone flicking his hair, seek help. Yeah. Some sort of mental therapy. If it really annoys you, someone flicking their hair, seek help, my friend. I promise you, you'll be happier for it. Many Arsenal fans are saying he's not world class, not better than Foden, etc. I haven't seen many Arsenal fans said. To be honest, any rational Arsenal fan doesn't even bother having a Saka Foden debate because they're not the same player. They're not the same player, and they don't really thrive in the same position. So, I think the best thing you can do is not even engage with the debate. But photo taking as well. Oh yeah, well, that bloody Odegaard taking a photo. God almighty. It really annoys me when the other team scores. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That is fair. I hope Palmer is crap today. I don't. I hope Palmer is great today and Saka still starts ahead of him. That's what I hope for. Not like Saka is watching Twitter debates. No, you would hope not. He's probably got better things to do. A lot of Arsenal fans get bullied into saying Foden's better. Well, yeah, that's on them. He's an England player at the end of the day. Yeah, I'm in that boat. I'm in England mode now. I am in England mode. I want every England player to do as well as they possibly can to bring home the Euros. That is as simple as that. Odegaard had major concussion in September and October. To come back from that is quality mentality. That's true. People do forget that. If Ramsdale starts in the Euros and does well, we'll get a much better fee for him. True, but I just don't think he's going to start. I don't think Ramsdale's going to start at the Euros. I think he's probably starting tonight to give him some sort of match, sharpness in case, imagine Pickford gets injured game 1. Ramsdale has to step up at that point. So, do we have any Arsenal player with a release clause in its contract? Not that I'm aware of. I do not believe we have any. Arsenal don't really tend to put release clauses in player contracts. If you don't need to do it, you don't do it because it removes your control. Ultimately, a release clause removes your control. I literally have no problem with Saka starting ahead of Palmer, still a brilliant player. Yeah, I think most reasonable people are like that, to be fair. Ferdy Kadioglu, Eze, Fofana, Isak, and Bakayoko is the signings we need this window, or we can't competing with City. I mean, I agree. I'd like all of those signings. I disagree with this whole, unless we get, all of these perfect players, we're not going to compete with City. I think we will. I do think we will. Does anyone know where people in the US can watch the Euros? I'm not sure. I assume it'll just be on the same sort of networks that you watch the Premier League on, Peacock or whichever one it is. What's the Arsenal transfer budget? I think it's about 150 million plus whatever we make in sales. So if we raise 100 million quid in sales, it'd be 250 million quid. That's what I think. Eze's going to Spurs. I don't think Spurs will pay his release clause. Levy never has the balls. Did you see all the Spurs fans wetting themselves over Van de Ven doing a basic overlap and cross for Holland against Canada? It's adorable. I've not seen that. No. Doesn't surprise me, though. My perception as a Portuguese man is that your country doesn't feel that united. Like I see Porto and Sporting fans wanting João Neves to start. You'll almost just root for your team's players. You're kind of right and kind of wrong. Okay? So the reason that you're kind of wrong is that you're not just seeing English fans, right? You're seeing Premier League fans. So fans of Sporting and Porto are almost entirely Portuguese, so they're rooting for Portugal. A lot of the fans of Chelsea, Arsenal, United, etc., that you see on social media, they speak in English, obviously, but they're not English. So they carry their club rivalries into the Euros because they're not supporting England. If you ask most English fans that support England what they want, then they put the rivalries to bed as well. Like we just saw with Sportcat saying that he wants Saka to do well. I just think it's hard to distinguish between who's an English fan and who's not an English fan, which is the difference. We are not competing with City. We're competing with all the other 18 clubs plus City. Beat all the other teams and the trophy is ours. It's a fair point. How many players do you see us selling this summer? 8 or 9, I think. From what it sounds like, we are really keen on selling a lot of players. So 8 or 9, I can see. I mean, if you start Ramsdale, Tierney, Tavares, I think we sell at least one of Zinchenko, Tomiyasu, and Kivi, or possibly two, but even if you say one of those, Sambi Lokonga, Reece Nelson, Eddie Nketiah, one of Smith Rowe and Fabio Vieira, probably Thomas Partey. That's 9 already. Then you've got more academy players, so a lot. I think there will be a lot of sales. England fans have a bad reputation all over the world. Yeah, but it's not helped by the fact that our own media paint us to be the bad guys all the time. All the time, our own media paint English fans to be the worst possible. And they don't do the same. For example, right? There was an entire... Remember the Euros final? Remember the Euros final against Italy where some English fans pushed their way into Wembley without tickets? Netflix ended up making a fucking documentary about that day as if it was the worst thing in history. All of our own media massively criticizing English fans and English people. At the Champions League final last week, Real Madrid fans did exactly the same. Huge number of Real Madrid fans forced their way through. Exactly the same as English fans did. Barely reported in the media whatsoever. When English fans go abroad and cause trouble, all over our media. When foreign fans come to the UK for Champions League games and stuff and cause trouble, silence from our media. Our own media is an enemy within. And then other people see that across the world and think that we're awful people. It's bizarre. I don't think we can handle that volume of outgoings unless they're going to Saudi. We aren't Chelsea. It's difficult, but we have to, right? We have to. We can't afford to keep them, really. From our sales, do you think we will get much? I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic about some of them. Like Eddie, Smith Rowe, it seems like there's quite a lot of interest in them. Kieran Tierney, even. As an English fan, it's hard not to take rivals into international after the behaviour and cliques within the golden generation. True, but I think it's getting better. I do think it's getting better than it used to be. You see it now. Most of the England players are friends, you know. Anyway, it is time for Guess the Gooner, the game where I give you 5 clues about an ex or current Arsenal player, and you have to guess who that player is in the chat. First person to get it right wins the immense pride and respect of the Rory Talks Football community. Put your fingers on your keyboards, because we're starting now. Clue number 1, this player is 40 years old. Clue number 1, this player is 40 years old. Clue number 2, they are a Premier League winner. Clue number 2, they are a Premier League winner. Clue number 3, they scored 132 goals in 278 games for Arsenal. They scored 132 goals in 278 games for Arsenal. Clue number 4, they joined Arsenal from Feyenoord. Clue number 4, they joined Arsenal from Feyenoord. And clue number 5, they were the victim of the most outrageous second bookable offence you will ever see. They were sent off with the most outrageous second bookable offence that you will ever see. There you go. There you go. Who got it first? Who got it first? Am I going to avoid a VAR check tonight? Am I going to avoid a VAR check? Just double check that no one got it up here. There we go. Wake Up is the winner. Congratulations to Wake Up. It was indeed RVP Robin Van Persie. And Wake Up, the rest of you need to wake up, because Wake Up has just beaten you. Congratulations, Wake Up. Mr. Mister was second. Sportcat was third, a Chelsea fan, beating most of you as well. Trinidad and Tobago today was fourth, and El Minister was fifth. There you go. There you go. Oh, VV Vlad wants a VAR check. He thinks Tom meant Percy. He thinks Tom meant I can't give that. I can't. But Tom said Paris. I don't know what it was meant to say. I don't think that's close enough to, because it's not even like, I mean, surely the logical thing anyway was to type RVP because it's quicker. If you're going to type just Percy, you got to spell it right. I can't take Paris. I'm sorry, Tom. I'm sorry, Tom. He meant Perez. He meant Perez. There you go. There you go. It would have been a bit far. It would have been brutal. It would have been brutal on Wake Up if we'd done that. So there you go. VAR, check complete. Goal given to Wake Up. Congratulations to Wake Up. Don't understand that we can't compete with City without new signings when we've competed with them the past 2 seasons. I completely agree. I do think we need some signings to fill out the bench a little bit. I think the reality is that we'll be very lucky to have the same sort of injury record this season that we had this coming season that we had the season just gone. So I think we have to prepare for that. But I agree. I do agree that, we can compete with them. Time for Guess the Non-Gooner. I'm going to give you the entire career path of a player who does not and has not played for Arsenal. You have to guess who that player is. First person to get it right wins the immense pride and respect of the Rory Talks Football community, but not as much respect as Wake Up currently has. This player started their career at the Ajax Academy. They started their career at the Ajax Academy. They went from Ajax to Everton. They went to Werder Bremen. They went back to Ajax. And they are now at Inter Milan. So Ajax, Everton, Werder Bremen, Ajax, Inter Milan. Who is first? There we go. It is Jakob. Jakob is first. It was indeed Klaassen. It was Klaassen. And that is Klaassen from Jakob. Carl was second. Sportcat was third. I'll give it to him. Ryan Henderson was fourth. And MM was fifth with Jake and Francisco Oliveira not far behind. But there you go. Congratulations. It was indeed Klaassen. That is Klaassen. James B, Arsenal blog. Is there any context to that, Jake? Sportcat always has the early leaks for Guess the Non-Gooner. He's just good. There you go. We've got the VAR check. VAR check complete. Goal given to Jakob. And we've avoided any VAR drama. Sensational. That is sensational. Thought Stecklenburg at first. Thought I was cooking. That's tough. Oh, you just thought he was at Ajax once? I'm not sure. 2 out of 2. Great performance. You love to see it. By the way, announcement. I'm not on Twitch tonight. I apologize. There is no Twitch stream tonight. I completely forgot that my girlfriend's family are coming to stay. So I can't do the Twitch stream tonight. And there's going to be no streams tomorrow. There are no... this is the first time we've missed a YouTube stream in ages as well. No streams tomorrow evening. I've got a big charity football match tournament tomorrow. It's up in Nottingham. I'm staying the night in Nottingham afterwards. So, unfortunately, there will be no streams tomorrow night, and there's not a Twitch stream tonight, which is painful because we've been incredibly consistent with them. But we will resume as normal on Sunday, although I will probably be nursing a little bit of a hangover. I'm going to tap into the Twitch stream soon. Yeah, if you want to follow on Twitch for when I am back live, link is down in the description to the Twitch channel. It's a disgrace. I know. It's a disgrace. How was Bad Boys? Bad Boys is great. Bad Boys. What you gonna do? Really good. Honestly, if you're a fan of the Bad Boys films, it might honestly be the best one. I was really impressed. It was funny. It was dumb. It was actually a good storyline. The cinematics were great. There were some really fun cinematics. Really good film. Really, really good film, I have to say. So there you go. Good luck tomorrow. Thank you very much. There will, by the way, there will be a stream for the football tournament that I'm playing in tomorrow. So there's 4 teams, right? Danny Aaron's team, which is the team I'm on. Angry Ginge has a team. Jackmate from Jackmate's Happy Hour has a team. And Heinz Baines has a team as well. Loads of massive creators are playing. Mark Goldbridge is playing. I'm going to be playing against Mark Goldbridge in game 1. So that's going to be fun. So there's loads of it going on. I will tweet out. I'll post the links. I'll post the links to the streams. It'll be on YouTube, I believe. It will be on YouTube, I believe. So I will post out the links to the streams. It's called Awareness for Andy's Man's Club. AFA is the charity, and that's the kind of host of it. So if you want to catch that tomorrow, then it will be on YouTube. Watch me drop an almighty performance. Can you wear a GoPro or something as a video, possibly? I don't actually have a GoPro or anything like that. I'll try and make a little bit of content whilst I'm there, obviously. But yeah, it'll probably just be TikTok content, really, that I'll put on Instagram as well. But yeah, so that's what's happening. That is what's happening. But look, that is going to be the end of the stream. I hope you all have a fantastic evening, a brilliant weekend. I'll see you. I'll be back Sunday evening, right? Don't miss me too much. Have a great weekend. And yeah, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe on the way out. And goodbye.